you know, there's a bit of land, we want to buy it, how do we do it? And Laura was really, really good. Put me in touch with Richard Rogers, and the help and the support, the advice, and knowing what we could and couldn't do was so important. And it provided, the grant from the board provided a platform. And on the very meeting where we were given the first bit of money, a local business called More Norbury got up from Cardway, the firm at the Hopton, and matched that. So on that night alone, we only had sort of 12 grand then to achieve, and the people of Devizes were fantastic, and they rose to the challenge, or blackmail, whichever tactic you think they did. And we've raised enough money, but not being a constituent charity, we can own the land. Again, Richard and the area board put us in touch with the Wildlife Trust, Roundway Parish, Town Council come in with conversations, and this great sort of force came together to move the project forward. And as of today, I've heard that the Wildlife Trust, after a little hiccup over some covenants and legal issues, had a meeting this morning where they're fully agreed to move forward, buy the land, take over the ownership, and then we'll start looking to the management. And Devizes will have a new green open space for public use, and hopefully a thriving community orchard in the future.
The allotments problem started about 10 years ago, long before I joined Roundway. In the first part of that time, the council tried local developers, landowners, but they couldn't get any land anywhere. About 5 years ago, I joined Roundway, and I was asked by the councillors, because of my expertise in allotments, would I take over as project manager for the allotments? Naturally, I said yes. It's an area I was familiar with. And as I was dubious about joining a council and not knowing what went on. So it gave me a good start into it. For some time, I rechecked all that they'd done, developers, landowners. The answer was still no. Houses are still more problem. After some time, I contacted Wiltshire Council and asked if I could have a plan at Roundway Parish, but highlighting every area of land that they owned. I got the plan back quite quick actually, and I was surprised how much land they did own. I spent some time visiting most of the sites. In the end I found one that I thought would be practical for the allotments. It also gave us a bonus because it was in an area which I prefer to keep as a green belt around Devizes, so it served two purposes. I contacted Wiltshire Council again to say would it be possible to do an asset transfer. For once I had that word yes from back. So after celebrating that night, I got back to Wiltshire Council and asked the process we had to go through. They were extremely helpful, told me what I had to do, and they started the process going forward. I then, while this was going through, because it does take a while to go through, there's a lot of legal requirements, while it was going through, I got a surveyor to draw up a plan of a 3-acre site that I was looking for, and told him how I wanted it laid out with the car park, sheds, etc., box sizes. He drew up the plan, we sent it into planning, we then, when it came back, sent the plans out to 3 different contractors, and we were looking for a contractor that would do it to the quality we wanted it, not just allotment. We wanted it our way, and things that we'd learned over the years that were mistakes. We eventually signed a contractor. The asset transfer was still going through, and in all cases, no matter what transfer you do, whether it's buying a house or not, there's always a slower procedure where you have to sit back and wait. You get very nervous, you keep ringing them up, you want to know what they're doing, but they are working on it, and that's the legal department. All solicitors are the same, we all know that. In the end, that all went together, and Mr. Parish, and hopefully, God permitting, on the 8th of June, if the Gazette and Herald is listening, on the 8th of June at 10 a.m, we're hoping to have an open day and open the allotments. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to say one thing on finishing, because I know we've got a very busy agenda. On behalf of Roundway Parish Council and its residents, I'd like to thank the Area Board for all it's done in helping to bring this project to a very happy conclusion.
DCAP were given the task of improving the signing in the town. We all know Devizes is very dependent on tourism, and it's probably a good idea if they can find their way around. That project is now coming to a conclusion. There are 23 finger posts with a total of 70 fingers on them, pointing things around. There is various things. There's a new sign to the wharf. There's actually now a car park sign to the West Central car park that's been missing for a long time, so people can find their way there. And the medieval town trail has been resurrected with the signs being placed in the right places. And finally, although this is not yet done, it will be done in the next week or two, 8 of maps of the town will be actually installed in various car parks, so that there it is there, so that tourists actually, when they park their car, know where else to go in the town, and there's a list of attractions down the right hand side. So that's all very good, and really what I'd like to say, it's been a very interesting exercise in community cooperation. The Area Board granted the money, the Town Council has undertaken the operation of the finger posts, Wiltshire Highways actually erected the new car park sign, the Kennet and Avon Canal Trust took care of the sign to the wharf, and the Trust for Devizes actually has taken responsibility for the town trail. So altogether, I think that shows that when we work together we can achieve things, so thank you very much.
Hello, I'm Richard Rogers. I'm here with Simon Jacobs, who's just been voted our new chairman of Devizes Area Board. Simon, how have you found tonight?
Well, I've been really encouraged by the response that we've had from members of the public, from the board, particularly with the initiative of trying to get more young people involved in the area board and in the area partnership. But when I mean young people, I'm talking about people under the age of sort of 45, really. And actually it was interesting tonight, just we had a show of hands. Vast majority of people tonight were over 50.
And what hopes have you got for the future?
Very much looking at building on what has been achieved over the last 4 years. There's still a lot to do, but we have a wonderful community already with all the various things that go on in the town and in the parishes. But I believe that involving young people, bringing them in to everything that we are doing will secure our future long term.
It all sounds very exciting, and we hope to see more of it in the days and months to come.